Hello and welcome to this Advanced Mandolin lesson where we're just going to take 8-9 minutes or so to learn one of my favourite and nerdiest arpeggio exercises that sounds a bit like this. Everything we talk about in the next 10 minutes or so is included in a free PDF which is linked in the video description below. Before we play the exercise, I just want to tell you the theory behind it. So if you're quite an advanced player or know your music theory, feel free to skip ahead. But for those who don't know, this is a diatonic seventh arpeggio exercise. So we need to establish what a few of those words mean. And we're in the key of C major for this lesson. So our notes, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and then C again. And everything is written out in the PDF, so please do have that in front of you as I go through this. Helpful to think in terms of numbers, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8. And to make up the basic C major arpeggio, you need your 1, your 3, and your 5. And it's a useful exercise to do that with every note in that scale. So C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, A minor, B minor flat 5, and then back to C. So by doing that, you work out what every chord is in the key of C major. So it's C, D minor, E minor, F, G, A minor, B minor flat 5, and then back to C. And that is what is called the diatonic chords in the key of C. The word diatonic means you're sticking to the notes of the scale. So if you were to say, turn that F into an F sharp, so you have C and then suddenly a D major, that's no longer diatonic. It's not wrong, you've just chosen to play a D major instead of a D minor. It just means it's no longer diatonic. So the word diatonic means you're sticking to the key that we're in. So C, D, E minor, F, G, A minor, B minor flat 5, C is the diatonic chords in the key of C. Next, we can extend those chords to the sevenths, but we want to stay diatonic. That's good. That's the crux of this lesson. So if we add the 7, it's a B natural in the key of C, not a B flat. You could play a C7, but that's no longer diatonic. So it's a C major 7, and then if you do that with everyone, you get a D minor 7, E minor 7, F major 7, G flat 7, what you just call it a G7, A minor 7, and then B minor 7 flat 5. So again, if I was to play those one after the other, C major 7, D minor 7, E minor 7, F major 7, G7, A minor 7, B minor 7 flat 5, and then back to C. So just using the diatonic scales, so C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, we now have our, and this is the most important thing, the diatonic seventh chords in the key of C. The next step is to start turning that into a mandolin-friendly exercise. The way I was playing it, that's the bottom of page 4. So just each arpeggio, 1, 3, 5, 7, 1, flat 3, 5, 7, just all the way up. It's okay, it's not perfect. There's 2 changes we can make to suddenly turn this into a really nice mandolin exercise. Firstly, let's turn all those quarter notes into eighth notes, so we now have alternate picking. So down, up, down, up, down, up, just to make it slightly more challenged. And then every other arpeggio, if you were to switch the notes around, so if you went 7, 5, 3, 1, So you go, your first chord is 1, 3, 5, 7, and then 7, 3, 5, 1. 7, 5, 3, 1. You end up with a nice pattern that becomes quite smooth and sounds like this. And then if you go back down, you end up with a really nice diatonic 7th arpeggio pattern. We could stop there. That's a really nice little pattern. Diatonic and do it in all the keys. There's one more step though that we can do to make it even more mandolin friendly, and that was to sort of position shift the whole thing. So if you were to position shift on every arpeggio, you end up with that pattern. And that is written again in the PDF. So you do your C major 7, and then shift with your index finger to start the D minor 7, and then shift with your ring finger to start the E minor 7, and then first finger to start the F major 7. So each one is shifting on a different finger depending on which way, whether you're going up or down. And that's it. That's the diatonic 7th arpeggio pattern I would like to show you. I'll try it again a little slower, and you can hopefully try and join in. 3 and 4 and. And it's useful if you can do that whilst thinking about what you're playing at the same time. C major 7, D minor 7, E minor 7, F major 7, G7, A minor 7, B minor 7, flat 5. It's useful to know what's going on, because all of a sudden you've opened up the whole fretboard. You're really thinking in terms of these are now sort of jazz chords. And then, as you may have noticed if you've watched any other previous Mando Mic videos, I can never leave it in one key, so we can now start moving that around because it's closed. There's no open strings in that. So first thing is you could shift it a fifth above and do it exactly a string higher in G. Or, to make it even more difficult, you could take the C1 and take it back a semitone into B. Work out what chords you're playing at the same time. My brain can't think. I know the pattern, but I can't think quick enough to say them out loud in the B. But it's such a fun exercise. It's worth, if you haven't got much time to practice, that's a great little pattern to warm your fingers up, get your brain working, what notes are going on, what are 7th chords. It's a really interesting one. I hope you have found it as interesting as I do. Thanks for watching. We do these every month, and if you'd like more, please head over to mandomic.com. And we'll see you next month.